Hello. So if you have been watching what we've been doing here, I have been taking apart 128 keyboards. And why? Well, because I needed function keys, because I am sending them to two different people somewhere in the world to make their 128s whole again. Unfortunately, my key collection became somehow compromised. I must have another box of keys and things around. I must have. Or at least a box of some stuff, but I can't find it. So I have taken the function keys off of this one, 128, and rescued the stems off of another, and the springs off of this, so that I can send what is needed to the good people who want to put their machines back together again. And you know, it's not hard to smack a key off. You know, it catches on one little thing, boom, it's gone. And it may be just the keycap that comes off. Or sometimes the stem snaps and the spring goes boing, and that's the end of that. So if you have watched, you may have seen this before. What I typically do when dealing with keys and sending them places is I take about 4 pieces of cardboard, about that thick, and I take scissors and I cut. Ugh. I think I'm not going to go as deep on the initial cut of these because the scissors just don't seem to be liking it. But I'll still go pretty deep because I want to get them fairly well positioned inside this little box that I'm making. Oh yeah, cut this. So I'm not sure how many of you were able to get to the world of Commodore. I think they have posted some videos online. I think I mostly sat at a table and talked to people and tried to fix things. And it went pretty well. Somewhere I have a list. Excuse me. I took some machines of my own there in case I were to run out of people in despair. And as the afternoon wore on, because boy, at the beginning of the show, there was a lot of people there. I don't even know how many, because I really wasn't in a position where I would be facing the door, and I just had lots of people coming and talking, and some people brought things for me to tinker on, and some people just wanted to talk, and of course the fellow, I did a video of the fellow at the Big 20 that he thought was broken, and I had no reason to think otherwise. It ended up it wasn't, but he will need a power supply. He was also the fellow whose 64 I rescued. It was the one that needed a PLA chip and a 6526 chip. anyway, he made it to the show, and I was able to test out his data set as well. It worked, so that was a good thing. Yeah, it was a good day. It was. So what I'm doing here is I'm making this box thing, and I just have to look here and see. I need to take the F5. Oh, this might be thicker than necessary, heavens. I could have probably got away with 3, but anyway, that's fine. The F5 key is going to one fine person, while the other 3 are going to another fine person. So, first, I'll do this one. And get it safe and secure. Very careful not to drop anywhere. Because keys are small. I think what I'm going to do this time, because I can, I'm going to take a longer piece of tape than I had before, and I'm going to wrap this, getting it all carefully. Oh, good. I love tape, but boy, when tape goes bad, it just goes bad in a hurry. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay, so we wrap, we get it secure. Good. So we have our little container, and then we'll take some more tape, and we'll do that again. Farther up. So it is nice and secure. And then, checking our list, F5, F6. So we take the F5, 6, we pop it in, we take a spring, and a plunger, and we pop them in, and we make sure that they're really in there, and they are in there. And then we take the bits we cut out, assuming they will still fit in. They should fit in. And we push them in ever so gently. We do. And when we have reached the spot that they are seeming to be happy, we cut them. And we put that fit in just so, in. So that now, encased in great protection, are the sought after parts. And we will secure them very securely. And there. And I will write F5/F6. And it is done. Maybe I will put one more tape thing in there, just to make sure that it is secure as can Haha. Alright, so that was one key. This next thing we have to do is 3 keys. And it really isn't that much different. It's just, you know what, I know this is too much for the envelope that I'm using, so I need to slice them off. But it's funny how eventually some of these extra pieces might come in handy. They might. And I think this time, because there are more keys happening, I might cut into the other side of this whole mess here, I think. So, behold. I think I will go like this, a little ways, and like this, just to get it started. And actually I may only do 3, because I found with that last key, 4 might have been a little thicker than was required. Now this is always testy because I've got to snip off this little bit here, but still leave, still not hurt the leftover. Because ultimately, this is the protection for the sacred keys. Maybe I'll leave that one out. That one has a little extra bit on it. I might have cut that a little deeper than necessary. I'm suspecting somewhere in the world is a little box that I could get, that I could just put things in, but I have not found that little box yet. So I cut. Maybe a little farther. All right. All right, that one's all right, I think. So now we have that. And we take some tape. I think it'll take a little more tape than with the other arrangement. And we try and get this quite secure. So there is our secure thing, I think. Don't get sick over the holidays. Don't ever get sick. It's no fun. This might take, that's probably okay. I can probably cut this in half and make it work. I am thinking I can It is nice to be able to get everything to line up so that the ends here are even. I think I'm going to do this a little differently. Somewhat, sort of. Oh dear, things are falling apart. More tape. Yes. Much more tape. But anyway, so you get the idea, much like the other one. We get things secured. Make sure that nothing can come out. I would hate to ship something off and say, oh yeah, look, the spring fell out the back. So we get it secured. It seems pretty snug. We take the keys and sneak them in. And sneak them in. What's going on here? Yeah. The keys. Okay, 1, 2. All right, 3 keys. So they're lined up. And then the stems and the springs go in. Just so. And now, I see that the back is not as secure as it should be. So we add some more tape and these want the inside and say, aha. And then take the pieces that we cut out very gently, very gently. Maybe I'm just going to take one and just use it as a feeler gauge. And then cut it off. And actually, it's just about in half. So, I'll try that again. And then, with great care, stick that in the side so that everything is happy and secure. And then apply more tape here and there to make sure that everything is just dandy. Excuse me. So, and to make sure, although how could it be wrong, F1, F3, F7. Excuse me. Anyway, I will look very much forward to, at some point, finding the keys that I can't find, and then I can properly put this machine back together. But you know, we do what we must do. We do. So, so these are ready to send off on their way. Is that all the keys we have to deal with today? No. We still have some pet keys. Imagine. I'm just waiting for confirmation back. See, on the pet, some return keys, or enter, but they say return, I believe, are like 3 keys wide, and some are 2 keys wide. And of course, if you pick the wrong one, well, I guess the smaller one would fit, but the bigger one certainly won't fit. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page on that. Once again, I would much rather not have to ship things back and forth and twice, etc., 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 etc. So, anyway, so that's the saga of the function keys. And I have some recycling to do. So thanks for coming. Ho, ho, ho. And bye for now.